Hello, I'm Erica Nicole, and you're watching Rooted and Rich. And today I want to talk to you about pivoting. I think being able to pivot is going to be one of the major keys to success in 2026. Over my career and over my life, I've had to pivot many, many times, from bad relationships to jobs that just wasn't working to job loss where I was forced out through layoffs. And so I've had to make many, many pivots. And I want to talk to you about that because sometimes we get locked in on what we want and what we saw for our future. And we forget that life happens in the pivots, life happens in those changes that, those life that happen, those changes that happen unexpectedly. So if you are feeling like, hey, I just lost a job or I've experienced job loss, if you're feeling like you can't find meaning in your day to day, or you're feeling misaligned, you graduated with a degree and now that degree no longer serves you, or you started a career and you hate it, or you feel like you're in a place where it just doesn't suit you or fit you for the dream that you have for yourself, this video is for you. Today, I want to talk about the pivots because pivots really do make the difference in your life. Some of the pivots that you're going to experience are going to be forced on you, and some of them you're going to have to push through. I'll tell you a little bit about my story. So, back in 2021, I got laid off from my job, and it took me about 4 to 5 months to find another job. At that time, when I was looking for a job, I landed a job, similar role, but it just did not align to the things that I wanted. I wanted to I wanted to grow in my job. I wanted to get multiple certifications. I wanted to become recession proof or job loss proof. I wanted to have all of the skills and the tools that I needed to make sure that I was set up for success. That if I lost my job, I had all the things I needed to take with me, prepared and ready to go so that I could meet the demand for the next job. Well, in this place that I was at, I wasn't able to do that. I didn't see myself growing. I really wasn't doing any meaningful work that was meaningful to me. And so I started applying. I started applying daily or weekly or whatever the cadence may be. And I stayed at the job until I found another one. The job that I got right after that job, I know I was applying, applying, applying. And I told the Lord, I was like, Lord, if I don't get this job, I'm just going to quit applying and I'm just going to settle for where it's at. And the Lord opened up that door the moment I said, like, hey, I've been pushing, but maybe I just need to be content. And the Lord was like, no, you don't. He opened that door for me. And so I think sometimes when you get to the end of your rope and you just let God know, like, hey, I know that you have more for me. If it's not it, then I'll be content. But if it is it, open the door, and He opens the door. Well, you guys, fast forward. I only stayed at that job for a year because that pivot was not the pivot. And I want you to know that sometimes when you pivot and you make a decision to move out of town or move to a different city, or you make a decision to take on a new job, you may have to pivot again. And so there was a lot of things that I got from that year that were so inspiring and helpful. It built my confidence. I call that the year of my confidence building because I would not have been ready for the job that I have now had I not experienced that job for that year and that time. And so I'm grateful to that pivot because it prepared me for the next season and the next pivot. And right now, I feel very, very aligned to the role I have, the job I have, and I enjoy it. But I started to think about the things that I am good at, that people tell me all the time I'm good at. And I almost felt like I was gatekeeping a little bit because I have all this knowledge and I talk to people. People say, you're good with finances, you're good with resume building, you're good with coaching and motivating people. But, I only share it on to the people that are around me. And that's very few people, very little people. So this channel was birthed out of another pivot, another drive um, to really help people, help a broader audience of people, to build up people. And so this is a pivot as well. And so I want to tell you, if you're thinking about what your pivot should be or what your next move is, I want you to think about a couple of things. I want you to think about, one, where is life? What in life do people say you're naturally good at? What do people say that they really enjoy from you? I want you to think about those things for yourself. What have you heard? And then ask the people that know you well, what do they think about you? What do they feel around the things you're good at? Then I want you to take that list and I want you to think about what truly energizes you in this moment. We are multi-talented, multifaceted. And I remember wanting to build a channel around hair because I was so passionate around it and so thrilled, learning new hairstyles and trying stuff and growing my hair to my butt. I had all of these ideas around it. But in this day and age, I'm not passionate about that as much. I love hair still, but it doesn't drive me as much as finances and financial freedom and thinking about retiring early and all of those things. And so, I pivoted from that to this because this is what's driving me. This is what people are coming to me for. And so I just really hone in on that. Then I want you to think about what steps do you need to take to get from where you are now to see yourself where you need to be. Part of the things that I'm realizing is that the steps that you need to take, just start with the first step. The first step for me was just recording these videos. Like in this pivot, I had to just record and post. I had to let the algorithm teach me, like, hey, this is not working or that's not working, or, flip your camera this way and record that way, or, you're not directly looking at the camera and people want to experience you that way. I had to let starting be my guide and my teacher and learn. And so when we think about the pivots, there's three things that I want you to do. After you ask the question of what is it that people say I'm good at, what is it that I've heard people tell me I'm good at, what do I feel naturally drawn to or passionate about it, and what steps can I get me further along with that, I want you to do this next thing. And this is really the key to aligning your success with your passions and being able to handle the pivot. The thing is this: I want you to open your mind to all of the possibilities around you. I want you to see challenges as opportunities. I want you to when you face job loss, when you face that drain in your day to day, I want you to see that as a push for you to move to the next thing. I don't want you to stay stuck there. I want you to start to make some movement. I want you to think right now, what is your next step? After you click off this video, what is the next thing you're going to do? Are you going to start to apply for jobs because you feel drained in your day to day? Are you going to start to look at education and see what things you need to do to get started in that next thing? Are you about to start to hit the record button and record that video that you might have to archive later because over time you'll get better, but you're going to record it and you're going to post it? Go ahead and post it. This is your sign to post it. Post it. Say it, do it, all right? The next thing I want you to do, and this is the key to your success, is to take the next step. Whatever that next step is, I want you to take the next step. People that are going to be successful in 2026, whether that's financially or career-wise or whatever, they are going to start. They are going to start in 2026, and they're not going to let anything stop them from starting. They're not going to let the fear of rejection, they're not going to let the fear of what people might say, they're not going to let the fear of not having it all figured out stop them. They're going to start. What I will tell you is this: in your life, if you want financial success, if you want career success, your number one thing to do is to figure out how to add value to others and for others, and how to recreate that for multiple people. And when I talk about multiple people, I talk about if you create success, or not success, if you create value for 5 people, in return, you're going to get a little bit of success. When you learn to multiply that times 20 and you're able to create value for 100 people, then you're able to grow that success. And so think about how can you add value to others around you and how can you multiply that value for others. This is all going to happen within the pivot. Life is going to kick you down. Life is going to bring you up, and life is going to turn you around. And in each of those pivots and in each of those moments, let's learn from our mistakes. Let's let those pivot guide us into the things that we need to focus on. Let's stop just going through the motions of feeling drained and discontent, and let's do something about it by starting. If this video touched you, I'd like to ask that you like or subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.